Hi, I want to show the addition of pop-up numbers to this starter scene. You got the player character. I've added an NPC. He's got a move controller script that's kind of going to move him automatically. In essence, he's just going to veer right with this. He doesn't properly control his rotation, actually, the script. It's just something I quickly did to make him walk around kind of randomly. Almost. You can control it a bit. You can put in different numbers here and he'll move in different ways. But just so you got a moving target, really. Okay, so what I want to do is just add a pop-up launcher to this guy. I've already added to Display Manager this Roboto pop-up panel, which is a pop-up panel number. So if in his pop-up widget ID I type in Roboto, then that's going to spawn Robotos anytime this is called. If I add a component pop-up test, this is what calls that. So if I add the pop-up launcher to the test, give it like a 5 in every 1,000 frames is probably about right. It'll just randomly spawn numbers up or down 50. I mean, you can make that bigger, up or down 100, whatever. To his pop-up launcher, let's have a look at that. I mean, it's a random number in that range, 0 to 100 or minus 100 to 0. So there we go. He's kind of, you can see they're all spawning under his feet. That's because we haven't added an offset data. These are pretty good, about offset 150. No, I think I set this to 2 meters, so it's actually like 200 centimeters. It's going to spawn them above his head. It should look better. Here we go. So there we go. You've added the numbers and they're just randomly spawning numbers. Obviously that pattern of them just kind of cascading downwards, you can spread them out, all kinds of stuff, you know, just playing with the effect. Let's have a look at the effect actually in this. Well, might take a bit of time to look at the effect, but you can totally change that pattern of the numbers, but there's just like a numbers flowing downwards kind of effect. It's this one here anyway, the widgets, the Roboto. I think Roboto SA refers to starter assets. That's just changing the scaling. So this is like the panel went for 5. The effect float. We could change this to float starter assets. Go back to the widget. Robo SA, change it to float SA, and then we could change SA. We can make it quicker. I think it's, the thing is, this, you're only getting part of this pattern because it's cutting the object at 1. Can you see the FX time is 2 seconds on his pop-up manager, pop-up launcher that we just added. It's got a time pop-up lifetime 1. So actually, it's not change the effect. I'll change the time to 2. Can you see that's what the rest of the pattern? So you can do all kinds of stupid stuff like that with your numbers. Whatever you put in your effect, it can go up and down. A load of numbers flying around. Or what else can you do? Rotation. We can put the rotation on it. This will make them wobble around a bit. See the numbers spinning around now. It's like rotation. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can do with the numbers effects. I think I did do another video with bits of it, but it's got a scale curve on them. You can't see that scale effect much, can you? Is it worth having a scale effect on it? They were scaling. They were getting bigger and getting smaller. See that numbers, so they shrink at the end. That's more visible now. And now you've got more of them because he's playing the whole 2 seconds. Because the pop-up lifetime is the same as the effect. You could change the effect time. Let's see what that looks like. This will just rush through it really quickly. The problem with that one is after the effect runs through too quickly is you got reset on finish. Because it's resetting the numbers, it kind of totally resets them to the A white and B without the effects. So if I turn off reset on finish, then the numbers just freeze where they would be. It's like that's a number without the effects. At the end of the effect, it just doesn't reset, it just freezes where it was until the object destroys. If we went back to his thing and put the lifetime at 1 now, see, they'll just do that whole pattern really quickly because the effect is on 1. It's a bit too quick though, isn't it? It looks a bit kind of like the frame rate's too low or something because they're changing so much so fast. I mean, I prefer it with like 2. I mean, you can make it longer actually, make it like 3. Let's make this one 3. An NPC 3, and then it's a really slow pattern. Can you see they're slowly twisting through time? You can do all kinds of stuff like that with the numbers. You know, limited by your imagination or whatever you want them to do. You got a few factors like the scale and the rotation and their offset, so the pattern through space and time. Okay, so what I also wanted to show is occlusion based on this, because we've got the occlusions baked in for this scene. So if we set NPC, go to his armature. Alright, let's see it without doing this. The important thing is, on this, suppose I put hide if invisible. Okay, what this will currently do is not a lot. It will be stopping the numbers when he goes off screen. Can you see that? He goes off screen, numbers are stopped. That's what it's doing. I mean, otherwise these numbers would be spawning when he's not even on screen, is one point. But they won't be doing a lot. It'll just be running the effect. The canvas won't be shown anyway because it's not on the screen. What makes hide if invisible work really is when he has dynamic occlusion on. Okay, so and let's see it without, because see there are no numbers spawning when he's occluded. If I take his dynamic occlusion on, he's spawning numbers even when we can't see him. Can you see there, we're looking through a wall and he's still spawning numbers. But with dynamic occlusion on, he stops that. We don't see his numbers spawning. Technically, it was that's the dynamic occlusion saying we can see his head from here. We can't hear. It's just the way the dynamic occlusion is working. Let's go and find him again. Yeah, as soon as you can see him, he comes. You can see the numbers again, and you can leave dynamic occlusion on and control that from hide if invisible. So here. Because he's not hide if invisible, we're seeing his numbers through walls and stuff, yeah, where technically he's occluded but we can still see his numbers. So the best way to control it is switch on hide if invisible, and then you won't see his numbers. That's most of what I wanted to show in this video. So okay, I mean we could really ramp it up and put the other numbers on and stuff, and his health bars, etc. I might do that in another video, but thanks for watching anyway. Cheers, bye.